start. Hello, everyone. I'm Yu Ham, the assistant curator at the Art Center, and welcome to join our first panel discussion of the Asian Curator. Tonight, we have a great pleasure. We have a great pleasure of having our guest speaker, Penwadee Nophaket, Manont, an independent curator and cultural worker based in Bangkok. Hi, Pooh. Hello. Hi. For tonight, Pooh is going to talk about the art and politics in Thailand during the pandemic, because as we know, the outbreak of pandemic has caused a series of social crisis and political crisis in Thailand, among other countries, and especially regarding the the military dictatorship and corruption and efficiency of governments. And this COVID-19 really intensifies the whole situation, and people, especially people among art circle, artists and curators and other art practitioners, they are forced to rethink the political stance and the sensible of politics, quote unquote, of how to position himself, of how to engage with the public, and more importantly, of how to what's a political subject to get on board and to follow through, and what is forthcoming. And apart from and also for tonight, we have our panelists, and they're going to join us to discuss on this topic with Pooh. And so we have Meruro Washida-san, the director of Towada Art Center, and he's also our panelist for previous session. Hi, Meruro-san. Sorry, I guess I mute everyone. So I'm going to unmute after this. And also we have Shabi Hassan Mustafa, the senior curator at National Art Gallery. Hi, Mustafa. Hello. And we also have Alex Terkun Lee, the cultural critique professor of cultural study at Kunhi University. Hi, Alex. Hello. And also have Yanguo, the founder of the Art Center, and also he's the organizer of this whole event. Hi, Xia. And speaking of the Asian Curator Panel Talk series, and this program is a monthly panel discussion project aimed to share ideas and thoughts and works with Asia-based curator and art practitioners during the pandemic time. And I'm going to forward you more information about the event, about everything, by the end of tonight's discussion. And without further ado, could you please feel free to start your introduction. I'm going to unmute you.
Hi, everyone. I can see that so many people are here. Okay. Okay, this is, my name is Pooh. Actually, it's like a Pooh. Yeah, in Thai means crab. So it's easier for you to call me Pooh, actually. And I'm independent curator, and before I was working for an institution, and then later became independent for like around, I think, 10 years already. Yeah, and my focus now is more toward the socio-political issues, and of course, communities and local, and whatever it takes that I can do more research. That's why I'm interested in this COVID impact, impacting on the art thing. And actually, this topic that I'm sharing with you today, that's called Side of Changes. I have shared a little bit with another group, which is run by Curator Institute Regional, that we have been discussing about the impact of COVID, and then how we could deal with the art in the future. But for this lecture, I think it's going to be more detailed because I will actually relate this COVID impact with this political crisis that has been happening in Thailand for 15 years. And then we can see the differences, how the COVID triggers the politic problems in Thailand, and then push back everybody, including our like people in the art scene, against the wall, and then come out to express ourselves more. And then what I want to discuss with you guys after this is how we can, you know, because of my lecture, this is only like a foreplay that I have been discussing with some of you. It's more like a foreplay, how we can think of something that triggers us, like some crisis or some impact that pushed us against the wall, and then it's time to rethink and reshape the art scene and how we stand in this society. So I will begin with I have to share the screen. I'll begin with the lecture. Okay. So as I said, during the past 10 years, Thailand has encountered a political instability, which led to the economy and the rights to freedom of expression downfalls. Since like 2005, 2006, we had coup d'etat, and then after that, people became separated. Not only people in the public, but people in the art scene also. From that time, like 15 years ago. And later on, we've changed a lot of the government sectors, like they dissolved parliaments like many times until 2014. There was another parliament dissolved, and the people on the other side, on this like they are the opposite sides of the people in Thailand, which we call red and yellow. So we have been separated into like color war. That's what we call it, like color war, and the red people are the people who are on the democracy side, like we are for democratic ideology. But the other yellow clans, they claim that they are also pro-democratic, but they're actually pro-monarchy, and they feel like their democratic ideology is toward maintaining the monarchy, the constitutional monarchy. And so what happened in 2014 was that part of the people in Thailand declared that they were going to do the Bangkok shutdown incident, and then they claimed that they would shut down the streets in Bangkok, and then they would do the protest. And then after that government dissolved the parliament, they said that they will not allow the people to go to election poll, so there would be no voting for the national election voting. That's what they wanted to approach. And so for us, the other side, the red side, I would say the red side, well, actually some people, they're not red, or they don't want to be called red people. So the other side are pro-democratic. They're more like they just want to have their basic rights to go to the voting poll to do the election. And so many people are really separated and then conflicted, including the people in the art scene. So that was the first time, the very first time that we can see the conflict between the people in the art scene, which is called red and yellow, sides. And the yellow sides, we can say that they are more like royalist conservatives, and they call themselves art lane group. And for the other side, actually, I have formed this group called Ants Power with curators and filmmakers and some young artists, and also producers, and even some scholars and some professors in the university. And so at that time, before the Bangkok shut down, so we had like both sides did, we have like meetings and then prepare to go on the street, but we didn't intend to like crash with each other. So I'll show you the link to the incidents that they have been edited before. So this is the art lane first. This is how they participate with the protest during 2014 before Bangkok shut down. This is before Bangkok shut down. They tried to say that because they could not accept the amnesty bill announced by the government, which nobody actually accept that either. But then after the government dissolved the parliament, they didn't stop. So this incident that I'm showing you now, this is before the government dissolved the parliament. That how the art lane participate in the protest. So, and then after the government dissolved the government, dissolved the parliament, we had to have the election, the national election, and then they came out. The art lane came out together with the group called, what's it called, PDRC, called People's Democratic Reform Committee, which the old name is the Committee to Save the Power of the Monarchy, something like that. And after they dissolved the parliament, they declared Bangkok shut down, and this art lane group participated with this PDRC group. And this is the, oops, okay. So this is, they've changed the place to do the protest. This is on the street called Rashidamnon Road, which is, you can see the backdrop is the Democracy Monument. So this is where, actually Rashidamnon means King Street. So this is like the main street and in the old town, where is it close to the Grand Palace. So the meaning is they can occupy this important street at that time. And that means like people realize that they're working closely with the people in power, and they have connection with some military people, like leaders and everything. And people that you see, some of the artists you may recognize, like they are well-known artists like Suti Wasan, and also Amarit, who is right now, he's also the dean of the art faculty in Silpakorn University. So they are participating in art lane groups and leaders of art lane groups, and also joining this force of PDRC group. And this is also the same place that you can see how they work together. And the last picture we see, you can see a little bit how they use this flag as symbol, and they kind of like take over the flag as their symbols, which I'll show you later. It became like really symbolic sign that they took over, that people cannot take over, like other people, like from our side, we cannot use the flag either, because they use that as a symbol, like main symbol, to use it for the, even they put it on the t-shirt, they put it on whatever, like there's so many props that they use on the street using the Thai flags. So this is how they kind of stress the, how people love Thailand so much that they use this Thai flag symbolic. Like there was like flag waving everywhere. There's like flag costumes everywhere. And also this one. Even at the flea market, they sell this kind of prop for people to use on the streets when they go to the demonstrations. So this is the art link. So the next one is the pro-democracy group, which I'll show you what at the same time that was during January until February. During that time that we work, we initiate this kind of events against each other. Oh, okay. One more thing about one more video for the art link. I mean for the this is the atmosphere of the demonstrations on the street, like they shut down the streets. If you've been to Bangkok, this is the Siam area, like Siam Center, Siam Square, Siam Discovery area close to Bangkok Art and Culture Center. So they shut down all the streets around there and make it more like an symbol to use it for the, even like how they dress, they put it on the hair, they put it on the t-shirt, they put it on whatever, like there's so many props that they use on the street using the Thai flags. So this is how they kind of stress the, how people love Thailand so much that they use this Thai flag symbolic. Like there was like flag waving everywhere. There's like flag costumes everywhere. And also this one. Even at the flea market, they sell this kind of prop for people to use on the streets when they go to the demonstrations. So this is the art link. So the next one is the pro-democracy group, which I'll show you what at the same time that was during January until February. During that time that we work, we initiate this kind of events against each other. Oh, okay. One more thing about one more video for the art link. I mean for the art link and PDRC. This is the atmosphere of the demonstrations on the street, like they shut down the streets. If you've been to Bangkok, this is the Siam area, like Siam Center, Siam Square, Siam Discovery area close to Bangkok Art and Culture Center. So they shut down all the streets around there and make it more like an event. Like many people sell stuff on the streets, many people dress up with these flag symbolic things on their, as costumes. And Okay. They even have the event at night. This is not very clear though, the picture. If you can see it, this is like superstars, model, and they're using the flags like on the headdress and waving the flags and using. You see the big hair bang thing, and all these are like superstars, like many superstars that are pro-royalist conservatives. Okay, and so the other group, which is our group, this is how we work because we cannot take over the main place, so we have to kind of like hijack the space in front of the ACC, which is BTS SkyTrain Bridge. So this is our first. I kind of call it happening art. So because we heard that the PDRC and the Art Lane group, they would like to do the Bangkok shutdown, and they would like to prevent people from going to the Pooh. So we try to gather together in a group, and then we talk about how we should express ourselves, like how we can take a stand. Like we only want to do the election vote, so we asked people. We did the public relation, and then we PR it out, and we asked people to come together and do the balloon releasing to show that we are not on either side of the government, like Thaksin side or the other royalist side. So we only want to do the election, national election, as a basic right. And so we asked people to come together and do the balloon releasing events. So we had a chance only doing the flash mob because it takes only like an hour. We cannot occupy that space for long. And during that time, actually, some people from the other side, because the street is next to each other, some people who saw our performance or our actions or whatever, they kind of shouted at us, like they threatened us, like they said that we are rape people, we only pro Thaksin, and they sometimes they like yell like really loud, and they think they kind of threaten for us to go to hell or whatever. So this group is composed of many artists, producers, filmmakers, and curators, and also art critics. But thing is, at that time, because we have been threatened a lot, so only me that came out for the public, in front of the public, because others they were afraid that it could risk their career or whatever. Even when I went to do the interview for this news channel, and they asked like who are in the group, I couldn't even say at that time because people still thought that it's risky for their career. And this is the next one. So we did like a few more like happening art. The second one is we imitated the election poll for people to come and try to do the voting as they wanted to do. Like some people might not want to vote, they can just say no vote or something. So this is to show that even you don't want to vote, but you have the rights to come to the election voting poll. So many people joined us, and together with another group who they did the candle lighting, and so we joined together after we did this happening art. We joined the candle lighting event also, and all this design was done by the artist, and the video shooting and editing is done by the filmmakers. So it's like very independent group. And if you can see some people that you can recognize, they're like activists who I never knew before, like even Japanese activists, and also some of the journalists. And this is the first time that I saw the university students came out and then share with us what they want to do, like, you know, what they want to express by themselves. That was on the event of the imitation of voting poll is on the bridge, and then down the bridge in front of Bangkok Art and Culture Center. It's the place where the candle lighting group here. Candle lighting group is doing their event. So we join all together. Okay. So the next one. This is the this is like only 2 days before the election day. So we got to do the election finally. This is 2 days before the election day. So we imitated the John Lennon and make love not war thing, and have people show the side that, you know, respect our vote and make love not war, something like that. So all this happening art, it's like come out of us all together. This is the one with the glasses is like she's a curator also and a filmmaker also. So come out of the group of people who work in the arts, like visual arts and also films, and also people from the Thai Film Foundation also joined, and even actually Guriya joined us also. And we had a meeting at Jim Thompson Art Center actually, but we couldn't tell other people at that time. I don't know what that's saying. And again, we join with the other group who do the candle lighting. This is at night that we join together with that group, and then it took only like a few hours actually. Right. Okay. So this is it. So this is basically the works in 2014 that was the real conflict that started to divide us to in the art scene, people in the art scene. And so after 2014, after that election, but the result of the election was cancelled, right? And then after that, in May of 2014, the same year, there was coup d'etat, another coup d'etat. And then after that, military junta has ruled us, but since then, until 2019, that we had another national election. But this is very tricky of the government because they work together in conspiracy or something. That same leader of military junta who ruled us for 5 years, he became the prime minister now. So that means the party that won the election in 2019, they selected him as a prime minister, and so we kind of see them as they're the heir of the military group. So now basically we are still ruled by the dictatorship. And this is the year 2020 where we face the COVID. During these past 5 years plus this election in 2019, the economy and the freedom of expression have been even worse than before. And when we hit the COVID-19, everything is going down and down. And I have never realized that other people besides the same old people that we fought together, have I would say waken up or seen the real thing that Thailand is not actually democratic country. And so because of the COVID, how Thailand has only 59 people die because of the COVID. But during the lockdown and even after the lockdown, we have more than like 100 people kill themselves because of the economic crisis. And so I think this is whatever government has done during these 5-6 years is not working for people in the whole country. And they also, since then, they have tried to change the educational system. I've just realized that in schools, they make students cannot have like their hair like really long, like this hairstyle of the boys has to be like probably like she has short or something, and then the girls have to have like a bob style only. They cannot have long hair. They cannot have like bow tie, or like in my age, I can have long hair and have tie it up and have the bow, but the bow has to be in specific color or whatever. But I have just realized that during these 5-6 years, the kids have been fighting about this, and they have been suppressed by all this. That's why many kids, many students, like in primary school, in high school, they came out a lot and they did many protests. That I talked to some of you before, that they even did the Hamtaro running around the democracy monument before, to show that they want the freedom of expression and they want to be part of this fighting to have, because one of the parties that was elected before was shut down again. The political party that is called Future Forward Party, it was shut down. Just the same thing as that happened with Thaksin's parties like 10 years ago. So the history, the political history is repeating and repeating. But nowadays, the kids have been suppressed by themselves too, like in schools and everything, and the educational system has been changed. They focus on the Thai studies, and making people feel like they have to be humble more, they have to be royal more, they have to, like there's a lot of propaganda came out like this past 10 years, and so people got more suppressed, and so this came out after the COVID. This is the demonstration on 16 by the Free People Movement group. So this is basically what they declare is they wanted to have the new constitution, and they want the government to dissolve parliament and then do the new election. Same thing as 2014, same thing as 1973. But the difference is, this is how the artists have been involved. This is a theater group called B4. This is the first time in history, I think, that they perform on the stage of the democratic protests. Like they perform together and in front of the democracy monument also. That means we can occupy right now the people who are fighting for democracy. We can occupy the main street, the street that called King Street now. And this is another performance by, he's also a visual artist and also a musician who I've worked with many times, and he's performed in front of the democracy monument, as you can see. This is also the first time that artists, musicians have involved like directly with this protest on democracy side. If we don't count back then, since like 47 years ago, that they did some artworks, but not like a protest, but it was more like an artwork on the street by the Artist Fund of Thailand. But it's not like a demonstration or anything, but it was more like presentations of the artists. So, and the last video that I would like to show you is this one. If you can see the image in the back, this is the image of a lawyer who was forced to be disappeared. And at that time, during the COVID, because there was some protests against the Thai monarchy in Thailand and also in Germany, and it was really hard. Like, you know, the university students came out a lot, and as same as the people in the public, general public. So one of the political exile person in Cambodia was forced to disappear during that time. So people got raged, and after the COVID, just after the COVID, this is in June, around June 25, if I don't remember it wrong. So this is the performance at the WTF Gallery, approached by a royalist conservative group of quartet who wanted to work with this gallery, who only usually works about political issues on the democratic side. And this royalist person, he also asked the gallery, the curator of the gallery, to work with a visual artist to have this background as part of his work. So this is, for me, this is like a new stand. Like, I'm not sure why this royalist conservative person would like to make his voice. I'm not sure, but I think there's something has already been changed. So this is all my my presentations. That I would like to conclude that if you can see the artist and political stance in 2014, that we try to, even though we try so much to initiate something, but we had to use the space as any venue or space as only like a flash mob, and doing it only like a few hours, and then we cannot even review ourselves, and we cannot open up, I mean, show the names or whatever. And while the other side of the artist group, they are on the streets and connect with the people in power and whatever. But by this time, during 2020, everything has changed. Even people in the same group that did the art link, they try to ask some of us that I don't know how to say, like, is it possible for us to join hands or whatever? Yeah, but there's another conflict, but I'm not gonna talk about that. Yeah, but there's another. What I want to conclude is that there are a lot of changes during this time, and then you can see from the presentations that artists are joining the protesters, and they even can do the performance on the street, the main street, occupy the main streets of Bangkok, and and now people can talk about monarchy, talk about military junta, but we don't know what's going next. So what I'm thinking about the change is that from now on, art not gonna be the same anymore, because people on the street take this artistic performance and artistic expression very seriously, and they even join hands, join groups, and in the next few weeks, they will also have a big demonstration at the same place, and this artistic group will also join, and it will be like a big performance. I believe it is like there was like a big film showing in the protest side also. So from now on in Thailand, I think the art will not be the same, because people will think about if art is related to social and political issues, or if it doesn't, maybe it's not valuable enough to call it art in this era of political problem or this COVID problem, or because COVID has pushed us really hard against the wall, and it's proved that the government is not functional. Our system is not functional. Educational is not functional. So this is it.